how to, okay, that means we experience it as a problem, but uh, we haven't found a convincing solution for that. Those problems are NP hard problems. Now, see, I have explained what is polynomial, what is non-polynomial. Among the non-polynomial, what is NP complete and what is NP hard. Okay, this terminology useful in the context of quantum computing. Okay, so now let us see, and also artificial intelligence. Now I come to the artificial intelligence domain. See here that NP complete is there now. NP complete. Remember, there are two types of solutions. One is called deterministic solution. Other one is non-deterministic solution. A solution wherein all the parameters are comprehensively provided and there is no any assumptions and we tackle the problem, we should end up with the same result. If there are 100 students, everyone should get the same result. That is non-deterministic means it is it may get different answer. Now you see, anti-complete problems are there, which are computationally expensive. For such problems, we are finding solutions by means of mathematical models. Wherever you are using mathematical model, you are moving away from determinism to non-determinism. So, the moment you are relying on mathematical model to solve a problem, you are you are either in the machine learning domain, artificial intelligence domain, or in the similar allied domain. So that means all the artificial intelligence based solutions are providing solutions to the NP complete problem. So that means more specifically, sometime back I told about traveling salesman problem. Traveling salesman problem is an NP complete problem because even if n is equal to 1000, n is equal to 10,000, I am providing the solution by using machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques. The solution that I am providing may not be the optimal, but it is near to the optimal, close to the optimal. In the real world, I am not all the time representing the best solution, even if it is near to the best solution, that will be my job. So in that domain, in such domain, we rely on machine learning or artificial intelligence. Haripala, you see, for example, there is a weather forecast or okay, or stock market prediction. The prediction may not be 100% correct, but if it is correct to the 95% accuracy, that is also correct for me. Haripal. So now I hope you understood now NP complete is the domain which our artificial intelligence actually providing solutions. That's why it has become NP complete. Okay. Now quantum computing is tackling some of the NP hard problems as well as non-polynomial complex problems are becoming polynomial complex problems. Okay, we will see that. I hope now you understand. So now, in this domain, we see NP complete is the intersection of two cells. That is where we see artificial intelligence based. And quantum computing is a new technology which helps for NP hard. That means we haven't formulated problem. We haven't formulated solution. We know the problem, but we haven't formulated. Now such problems are formulated using quantum computing. One. And second thing, uh, uh, NP problem, which are provided solutions to model-based solutions, are now non-model-based solutions. In other words, non-polynomial complex solutions can be tackled solved in a time-bound manner. Okay, so these are all important. We will again visit. Okay, so this is the allegation of problem. So this is a classical diagram of electrical computer science. And okay, in this we can see the domain of artificial intelligence as well as the domain of quantum. Okay. Now let us move on to okay. What is meant by natural processing? You see here, Richard Feynman. Richard Feynman is who is Richard Feynman? Any answer? Who is Charles Babbage? Father of digital modern computer. So probably Charles Babbage has not okay, imagined growth in the computing domain. All the people he demarcated things like okay, arithmetic logic, okay, three blocks. So he conceptualized that. And since the new architecture resemble the architecture proposed by Thomas Babbage, we honored him as father of computers. Richard Feynman is father of quantum computing. He wrote an excellent paper, What is Light? Okay, what is light? It's available in the internet. You can download and it is about 30 pages research paper. What is light? So, what he says, if you want to simulate nature, if you want to simulate nature, we should build a quantum computer. This was a very strong statement. So that means we are far behind the nature simulation. Okay, that means by using the sophisticated digital computers, we cannot think about simulating the nature. Okay, so how big and how challenging that job of simulation of nature is what okay explained in that what is life okay how great our humans also we will see. Okay. It is just the way world works, it is not weird. So, so if we are able to simulate the nature, then your God, your Paramatma and your computer, your everything is great. If we don't do that, certainly, okay, we cannot say computer is on par with humans. So, the foremost thing, one most important thing, see, uh, either in the what computers cannot do, what computers still cannot do, those two papers everywhere you see, there is always a debate whether humans are superior or computers are following. So, to mimic humans, artificial intelligence emerged. So, which aspect of human intelligence has? Quantum computing is also another domain to mimic human beings. So humans are quantum computers. Remember, quantum computers means human-like computing. Humans are having several okay, abilities which we are trying to mimic in the computing device, which we call quantum computer. So you see here, we are given one small example. You see, ammonia manufacturing. Ammonia manufacturing requires 2500 degrees centigrade temperature. Probably out of the whole power that is generated in our country or any nation or globe, about 50 to 20% of the power is consumed for fertilizer manufacturing. That was fertilizer industries are power hunger industry. Okay, because of the process is okay, compared the it consumes that high temperature. But whereas in human bacteria or animals or humans also produce ammonia, whether that ammonia and the industry produced ammonia are different or the same. Okay. That is okay. This is both ammonia are there. But the question is whether human system 2500 degree temperatures are generated. Okay, suppose you see if it is 200 degree temperature, we will start okay, converting into ashes. 500 degrees means okay, within no time we will become okay, we will become 2500 degrees temperature is very high temperature. Whether this is generated in our human system? No, answer is yes, it is generated. Okay, but it is in a quantum level, it is in a regulated, controlled manner. In the digestive system, it is generated. It is amazing, but it is true. Okay, so that's why. Okay, see in the so now I use the word regulated, controlled manner is okay generated. So, humans is a very deep practice. Okay, doing other things. Okay, now you see there is deriva sun experiment where two large hadron collider. Let's see, two hadrons are collided. This experiment took place about 20 years back. Okay, what is the discovery of LHC experiment in Geneva? Invention of God's particle. What is God's particle? God's particle is a particle which is converting from one nature to another. What does it mean? Suppose you see, we take any chemical equation, H2 plus O is equal to H2. We never imagine like H2 plus O to O is equal to H2SO4. Okay, S is not there at the left hand side, it cannot be there in the right hand side. But that God particle disproves that. That means if the need arises, the particle decides to do so, it can convert into another particle. That is what that sun experiment proved. How that is relevant to our system? You see here, these are all quantum computing challenges. Suppose you require some iron, some alpha in our food because they are all very vital for okay several human okay functions. Suppose you carefully you consumed a food which is completely free from iron, no iron at all. Are you following? Then if the input there is no iron, so these are all okay very strange to classical learning, but these are all happening. Okay. Let us take a quick look into our human genome. All of us know human genome is 3 billion base. 4 bases are one, nitrogen, and the A always with getting with thymine, one with cyclogen. And remember, these are all now not a biology or bio computing students data. Everyone should understand this because it is a fundamental part. Because okay, these are all very essential things. And the most fascinating computations that are happening in our human system are one is protein synthesis, second one is cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Okay, so these are the two important functions of protein. Protein synthesis. Protein, what is under protein? All essential things for our growth, our eating, our whatnot, everything requires some substances which are called proteins, which are synthesized, which are generated at the cell. convert into two of similar replicas, okay, that knowledge should also be there in the cell. The program is also part of the cell. So this is these are the so about human genome. This is a cell cross section, which I will, but okay, we haven't understood any significance of anything, any subsystem. It's a very big system, like a human system. Okay, like we are having eyes, different organs, nose, okay, ears, and mouth, and all these things like that. These are all different subsystems of cell. If you observe here, there is a nucleus. The pink color thing is nucleus. So within that, there is another blue color entity is called nucleolus. Nucleolus. Nucleus and nucleolus. This genome, that is human cell, human genome is present in the nucleus. Well, how big that nucleus, that is 3.2 billion base pairs. 3.2 billion base pairs. That big entity is there in the pink color area. And these are all organs helpful outside the nucleus are helpful for protein synthesis and then cell division activities. Okay, so now we see this is the complete picture of human system. Estimated number of cells. All of us know cell is the basic building block, like brick of a building. So there are 37.2 trillion cells. 37.2 trillion. What is meant by trillion? 10 to the power of 1. 10 to the power of 1. That means 1000 billions is equal to 1 trillion. 1000 millions is equal to 1 billion. That like that 37 trillion cells are there in our human system. Genome length is 3.2 billion. Base is a molecule. Each base is a molecule of 4 elements: carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. So that means, okay, the entire human system can be decomposed into basic elements: carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. And each of these carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. Now I'm coming to the quantum particle. Nothing else is this. This is all not biology. Now, okay, all these are divided into these elementary particles. All of us know electron is an elementary particle, but neutron and proton are not elementary particles. They are made up of quarks and gluons. Neutron can transform into a proton and vice versa, but electron will remain as electron. If you observe here, there are totally 17 particles. So just like a periodic table is a standard structured organized entity. If you go to Google and type periodic table, okay, two, three varieties of periodic okay, displayed. Out of which one which our students following is also there. Recollect. Now this similar kind, just go and type standard, okay, standard model. Just to type standard model. Don't say anything, particles, anything. Don't say standard model. It looks like a generic phrase, but it is a very specific phrase. Standard model means you will get this diagram. So there are quarks, leptons, and then bosons. Bosons are further divided into case bosons and scalar bosons. Now you see, out of them, we know some particles. Now day in day out we use. One is called electron. Okay, electron is a electron, green color entity. Electron is a electron. And then what is other particle? Photon. Photon is a boson. Okay, now as I told you earlier, here, all the quarks are there, upwards, downwards, on, strange, top, bottom. electron. So, see, this is an organization. I will tell you quickly what is the meaning of this organization, how it is connected with India. How uh, all these particles are characterized by spin, half spin, half integer, integer spin. Half integer spin means it will be spin like this, okay, going off circle and coming back. So that is the characteristic of all the fermions. Fermions, what are the fermions? Quarks and leptons are put together. These 12 entities are called quarks and leptons put together. We call them fermions. And five elements, gauge bosons and scalar bosons, are called bosons. Fermions are characterized by half integers. This characteristic was first discovered by Indian scientist called S.N. Bose. That's why a group of actors are named as Yoga. He is contemporary of Einstein. Einstein was okay when he sent the paper for his feedback or opinion. He put a condition like so he wants to be co-author of the paper because he is a brain, so he wants to okay for him to be visible to the world. He agreed for that. So this the first cluster paper about the categorization of particles into bosons and fermions is published with for which the authors are Boson is S.N. Bose and Einstein. And okay, now see how these are the smallest particles. So see, where did we start our journey? From here. 37.2 trillion cells. Each cell is having 3.2 billion base pairs. Each base is a molecule of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. We know nitrogen is atomic number 7 protons, 7 neutrons, 7 electrons, oxygen is 8 carbon, all these things. So that can be, one carbon can be disintegrated into neutrons, protons and electrons, and those neutrons and protons are distributed into again quantum particles. So, okay, now these are the particles. So that these are the quantum particles. So that means in our human system, the whatever computations that are happening is the result of computations as well as communication that are happening with these particles. I repeat again, in our human system, every every process is a get result of communication and communications that are happening with these standard model of particles. Are you following? So that means you want to simulate a quantum, simulate a human. You must have a computing network wherein many quantum particles should be there. How many? 37.2 billion into 3.2 billion into carbon elements into the respective constituent units that this system needs to be simulated. Now we see we will have some more strange phenomena happening in the human system. See here, you think about a problem, okay, you don't get solution, okay. Suddenly you find the solution passion or solution concept. How it happens, how it happens. The solution particle problem. Remember, another important characteristic of this elementary particle, as the name says, they are particles. Particles means they are a physical substance. Okay, so our apparatus we can see, okay, with our eyes, we can see particles. These are the particles have the ability to convert into waves. These are so wave particle duality you must have heard about wave particle duality. Particles are converted into waves and vice versa. So, and suppose the particle which you are waiting for is located somewhere, you pull it, it travels in the form of wave and reaches the destination, converted back into particle. That is a result of flashing an idea. Flashing an idea means you are pulling from the external world, stars everywhere, you are pulling some idea. Those, okay, that's all depending on your intents of those particles will be not there in your system, it is there elsewhere. They just the particle decided to come to you, particles cannot travel, hence they convert into waves, waves travel, reach you, then they are converted back into particles. Okay, so these are all reality, remember. Okay, I bias reality. Okay. Now you see, now let us go back to the first statement of different statement. If you want to simulate nature, you must create quantum computing. Okay. Now let us see particular video. I will ask you one question. Please go through the video. So it is a plant that is into plant. Now, whether this is, I am asking the question, whether it is a computer graphics or is a simulation or is a videography. Which is correct answer? How many of you say graphics? How many of you say simulation? One. Any other answer? Yeah. Suppose graphics means idea confuses your brain and that idea is not necessarily a image or a video. Rajamouli movie is a graphics. Okay, idea consumed in the brain, that is translated into video. That is graphics. Simulation means, okay, you will be giving the constituent units of the field, like what are the particles, okay, quantum particles. You should be able to integrate into quantum particles and understand the computation. Remember, each quantum particle will be performing some specified computation, some specified way of computation. Are you following? So you must understand the characteristics of the quantum particle. And then you should figure before soil, silicon its constants and humidity, water, gravity conditions, and all these things as input to the system. The system must understand after day one, day two, day three, how it actually what kind of interactions that happen among the particles, and it should be translated into a picture like this. That is simulation. Videography is okay. It is just putting the camera okay near the place and then taking the videos, photographs once in every 5 minutes, and then putting them together and playing. It's a picture of video, but since it is around taking an interval of 5 minutes, okay, you will see entire generation process within 2 minutes. Are you following? That is videography. Okay, now is it simulation? It is not simulation. It is videography. Why is it not simulation? Okay, simulation for the simulation to happen. For the simulation to happen, you must understand what are the constituent quantum particles of the simulation. And what are the constant particles of water, soil, climate, and that will be given as input. You don't have to give food as input, but all the three characteristics as input. And the computer must, your program must be written such that the characteristics of each quantum particle and communications among quantum particles must be clearly specified in your program. Then, by using them, it is able to generate this video. Are you following? It is a very, very challenging task, even for the modern day of most sophisticated computer. In other words, there is no computer which can simulate this. Hence, it is not a simulation. Now, after all, one small class definition process is not able to solve by a digital computer. There is a question of later simulation. Are you following? Now you must understand, okay, what is our challenge? This is a very hard problem. We know the problem. We know, okay, what is the solution, but we do not know how to find the solution. We know the solution, we know the problem, but the journey is not known. Are you following? Such things are empty problems. So what is the advantage for human race? It is a computer, quantum computer, which can which can do this, which can decode what happens tomorrow. What is the advantage? It will be a great device. For okay, suppose you see, we are inheriting a lot of disease-prone genes. That means today we are healthy, but they may lead to cancerous disease. Okay, that means by giving your to the computer, it will forecast after 50 years, after 60 years, after 70 years, how the latent hibernate disorders in the hibernation condition are going to explode. That means, doctors all the time say it is advanced. They should have come 5 years before. But 5 years before, no one knows. Okay. But remember that 5 years before condition, what it is going to happen after 5 years can be forecasted if your genome is given as input to the quantum computer and asked for its forecast for next to 30 40 years. Are you following? So these are all the advantages which we are envisaging with the help of quantum computers. That's why interpretation is called father of quantum computer. Okay. Now let us come back to traditional learning part. Quantum computing is a reality. Remember, in computer science, about 15 years back, we thought about different hypothetical computers. Cellular computer, that computer, this computer, like that quantum computer. It is only a theoretical concept. About 15 years back, it was a theoretical concept. Remember, first two mathematical models and theories emerged, and from there, some of them have the potential to translate into real applications or real devices. Everything is not related, but quantum computing is not a classical example. Okay, it was thought about this, it has become a reality. This is the typical shape of a quantum computer. At present, it is operating at 0 degree Kelvin. Okay, highly sensitive system, uh, very sharp light, having very few hours, few weeks to months. That's all. The present type quantum computer. That means okay, about 6 months back, this snap probably this computer is no more existing. Okay, it is replaced by another device now. Okay, this is a quantum computer is a reality, it's not a hypothetical thing. Okay. Quantum, remember, uh, we can submit the jobs to quantum computer. IBM is providing a service. You can write a program because we don't need quantum computer. You can give that job to the IBM to experience and it will give us the output after some days. What are the fundamentals? In the classical computer, it is bit. Bit is a here it is quantum computer is qubit. It's a very standard nomenclature. Okay. For measuring the computational power of a quantum computer, we use qubit as a unit. Just like RAM, processor configuration, we see processor speed, RAM size, and important parameters for deciding the computer power. In the quantum computer, it is qubits. Qubits are bit as well as qubit. Both are storing units as well as computing units. Registers of computer are made up of qubits. So registers are very part of computation. So we are using storing as well as computing. So these are the important because it is like a journey from known to unknown. It is known to us, so qubit is not known, so qubit is relevant to the quantum computer. Now you see, now we see the power of quantum qubit. This is very good slide. See, in the bit, we can store 0 or 1. We can store either 0 or 1. But in the qubit, there is a unit sphere. Everything is a unit sphere. In the sphere of in the sphere on the surface of unit, how many points are there? On the surface of the unit sphere, how many points exist? Infinite points. Hyphen infinite points. That means out of these infinite points, a qubit can carry any number. It is not 0 or 1. 0, 1. It can carry 0 or 1 as well as any other point of infinite space. That means, remember, if there is an alternative can carry multiple values, that is one of student of power. Haripala is more powerful because it can store any value on the unit sphere. Followed. Now you see, in the earlier diagram, I gave some NP hard problems. Now you see, quantum, it is one of the important characteristics of quantum computer. Just like you see, whenever if we happen to see object-oriented programming, okay, it will be centered around polymorphism, inheritance, overloading. Okay, all these things now like that, quantum computing is characterized by these principles. It is having these principles. One is called superposition. We will see details. Second one is entanglement. Third one is quantum tunneling. Fourth one is output. So these are all some essential theories because uh, uh, this is the primary knowledge. So every quantum programming quantum scientist wants to know. Okay, these are all some characteristics of a quantum computer. Now let us see details. Superposition. Ability of quantum systems to exist in multiple states at the same time. Now you see in the multiple states at the same time. This is the human characteristic. Suppose you see you are here, you are listening my lecture, but you are not concentrating here alone. You are thinking about afternoon, thinking about some single family problems or okay tomorrow's plan, everything. That is the background to me. Foreground, background. There will be always several things we focus simultaneously. But probably that means we think about ourselves Okay, with varied also that is a human character. That is a according to that is a plus point. That is a great character. Okay, suppose judges are there. Judges, okay, there is a yeah, heated discussions happen by both the parties, and that the trial parties, okay, he close that case that and he refers that verdict not to the next day, judgment not to the next day. Why? Remember, refers it to the next day. That day night, he will not refer anything. It is there in his brain and diverts his mind to some other domestic activities, takes food, watches the TV, has a sleep. Are you following? Okay, but in the background, okay, all the conversations happen. Are you following? Next day morning, at night, he comes to the court and gives the pronounce the verdict. Are you following? So that means foreground, background thinking. Even if you are okay, it's a human kind. This is how we function. So that parallel application, multiple states, we are in multiple states means multiple problems are being analyzed. That is called superposition. Okay. We have seen here, remember, there are two extremes. This is a super, this is at zero plus level by root to e. So what is not a good differential thinking? Usually. Suppose if it is a concatenation of qubits, okay, that superposition will be much higher. It will be see, one qubit it is important. This is a very primary concept. One qubit, two, two thinking, two thoughts, two qubits resulting how many thoughts? It's not two into two, two square. Two square means okay, two square thoughts, four thoughts. If we three qubits, how many thoughts? Eight. Two power three. So that means if we are having a computer with 10 qubits, it can think about 2 power of 1000, 1024 jobs. Are you following? That is how the power is phenomenally exponentially increasing. Quantum computer uh, power is exponentially increasing because of particular character. Okay, now yeah, that is actually what my of see the second point. But when we observe, he at times suppose one of your well-wisher is deeply thinking about something. Okay, you just touch him. You want to just say what he answers? No, let us assume he is honest. Okay, see out of the keep the vibrant. Tells about that. Suppose he is foreground and background, he thinks about 20 different things, but he tells us only one thing. That is called collapsing. A quantum state, when measured, collapses to one of the things. Are you following? See, second point. But when we are attaining one state, that is the analogous. Assume, okay, because if he tells that, he certainly will provide information. There's no problem. But when you ask him, he will tell, okay, so what he was thinking, prominent. following? That is called collapsing state. That is why there is a theorem called no cloning theorem. A quantum state cannot be cloned. Cloning means what? You can think about 20 different problems. Okay, if I transfer all the 20 things that I am thinking in the similar manner to you, then it is called okay. I transfer everything that what I am thinking, but that will never happen. For that matter, out of 20, only 10 are in the foreground, another 10 are in the background. We cannot retrieve all the 10 in the background. Are you following? So that is why this is one of the challenges in quantum computing. So when we observe atoms state, that means it has become classical. Quantum becomes classical. Quantum computing becomes classical. Okay, more classical computing. It is one of the fundamental principles of quantum mechanics. As I mentioned, it increases the processing computing power. So that means, as I mentioned, one qubit, okay, two jobs at a time, two qubits, two to the power of two, 10 qubits, two to the power of 10. That is how its computational power increases. You will get a doubt. Suppose, okay, there is a problem. Okay, sorting is are searching. It is a stepwise procedure. Okay, where is the need of multi-processing? Where is the need of multi-processing? There is a need. For example, see, this is a hall. Assume every light is yellow color. Only one small light is green color. Green color. And okay, I ask if you ask me to sketch the green color line, I will neither apply binary set or linear set or Fibonacci set. Okay, I apply a separate technique. Okay, just I see, and this that is the inside. I see. Are you following? So that means humans will inherent drive into distributed community. Okay, that is how we solve the problems, complex problems within no time. So every problem which is supposed to be special can be decoded into a parallel distributed kind of. That is why superposition, what we do, that one problem is decomposed into one problem. And it will be a fine process of coupling, integrating, and finally I get the solution. So, which is order of four, okay, uh, 1024 instructions. How I will be able to solve the same problem in 3 seconds. That is where humans have distinct, okay, distinct capability. Because of that, okay, we can increase the computing power. But see, finally, what the essence of this is, it is we are trying to mimic the computing. As I mentioned earlier, we typically learning by means of artificial intelligence. We mimic the computing using quantum computer. Okay, remember, computing is not mimicked by artificial intelligence. Only is mimicked by artificial intelligence. Now we are using the computing. Yeah, so I just know in same side, our function either zero or one, but we can have any other types of cat zero. This is called cat. Cat. The vertical line with value and then gradual number. This is called cat. Okay, if it is a reverse, okay, less than symbol, value, and then vertical line, we call bracket, bra, like that. So, the first question actually is one gravitational power is exponentially increased. Okay. Now let us see entanglement. Entanglement is we expected there are several movies. Okay. The space separated and they are growing in two different places. Okay, there is one junior India movie. So like that, if there is some cause happens, some incident happens, so that will be that reflections are seen in other persons. So this is called entanglement. A pair or a group of particles exists such that the quantum state of one particle cannot be described independently of others. If some phenomena happens here, it will be in the other quantum particle, provided these two are in the entanglement. These two particles may be located light year distance apart. Okay. What is the meaning of light year? To travel a particle from one place to other place. A photon to travel from another place, it consumes one year time. Then it is called light year. Even the two particles are at one light year distance. Something if this is equal to this way, the entire particle also is are following. So that means the speed of communication is much higher than that of light. Okay. So no signal can travel faster than light is now disproved. Okay. In the year 2023, Nobel Prize was awarded to the experiment which proved entanglement. So entanglement is no more just an idea or a belief area. Okay. So how the entanglement is in uh, warfare, it is like this. Suppose you see there is a radar, there is enemy object coming to hit the country. Okay, but that okay, how that sensing happens at the speed of light. But the speed of light is not sufficient. We need a quick response system. Then what happens? Our aircraft will also be surveillance aircraft will be there in the space, which will be observing all the enemy aircraft. And there is a ground radar system. This ground radar system and this our surveillance craft are entangled. Okay, are entangled, which is called stealth technology. Stealth technology. So this okay, this can be this can catch any object which is flying in the air. Immediately sends signal to the ground station using quantum using this entanglement. Two things. One is there is an enemy craft inside our territory, and its longitude and latitude also. By taking this measurement and direction, of course, velocity is including direction. So these things will be processed and okay, it can attack the enemy. Okay, with less latency. So that is the in fact China is driving that it is pursuing stealth technology, and many other countries are having this technology. So stealth technology is based on the principle of entanglement. Now let us see the quantum tunnel. It is very strange. All of you know light matter, dark matter, all of us know the light matter. What is the light matter? The universe is made up of light matter and dark matter. Light matter is 5%, dark matter is 95%. Suppose you see light matter enters. Suppose you see there is a wall. Okay, I cannot go outside the wall because there is a barrier. But whereas dark matter do not interact with any light object. Wall is a light matter object. So if it is a dark matter, it will just pass through the wall. Haripalan, you see, there are movies like Die Hard, Mission Impossible, wherein the villain changes people. Okay, they are able to run fast and to close the gate. They assume that they have locked inside. They think they are in a safe zone. But that villain, okay, he never he win the war. He just wants to the war. Is it not? I mean, yeah. Haripalan, that is not very done. We know that we know that is a characteristic of dark matter. But quantum particle is not a dark matter. Quantum quantum particle is a light matter because we can watch them no in the proper high resolution devices. But it is possible that property. Okay, a quantum mechanics phenomena where a subatomic particle pass through a potential current. Okay, it cannot be explained by classical mechanics. See here, quantum tunneling. So the object is here that is going other side by breaking the tunnel. Okay, yeah. Now you see Pauli's exclusion principle. What is this Pauli's exclusion principle? It deals about the spin of the particles. So two fermions of integer fermions, electronic fermions cannot occupy same quantum state within a quantum system dimension. You know, there is orbital, two electrons are there. Okay, one is in this direction, the other one is in this direction. No? This is electron computation we studied. No two quantum, so electron is a quantum particle. If in a particular orbital, two electrons are to be placed, we cannot place this way or this way, but it will be like this. So that means out of four possible states, okay, it will be only two states, either this way or this way. Okay, this is another property which is used in the quantum computing. Okay, this is illustrating the same. Is Pauli's exclusion principle. No two electrons in an atom can have the same four quantum numbers. It's not an atom. That time it was okay, it is actually orbital. Now you see, why quantum computers? We are going to two challenging problems we encounter. First one is non-existing solutions. That means NP hard problems. Okay, non-existing solutions with the traditional computing system. Second one is, as I mentioned, it can be hard problem. Requires impractical amount of time. Okay, problem is there, solution is also known, but that consumes a huge amount of time. But utility of a particular service is completed in a few hours. So we are using it as a solution. Are you following? So this is impossible to solve problems. Anapazno, there is Lanka, beside our territory. From this back to enter inside Lanka, the distance English and ocean is there. The distance was 100 knots. Suppose we use three warriors are there, okay, Angada and the one can like 50 yojanas, other one can like 30 yojanas, and one more can like 20 yojanas. 50 plus 30 plus 20 is 100. But can they link it into the problem? Because no. Okay, it is not time and good problem. It is not like okay, this was how many days, how many months can we solve these things. No. So these are called impossible to solve problems. Okay, that means to even some ways, okay, okay, to do any writing, okay, adventurous writing, okay, they have to maintain the momentum, speed, okay, other things, and the air conditioning, everything. So like that, so it is impossible. So humans face some such problem in some of the domains. Okay, this is first category. Second category requires practical amount of time. You see, this is encryption. Now, cryptography. What is the rule of? I am encrypting a document by using some brute force using cryptanalysis. Say, this can be broken. This cannot be broken within 100 years. So otherwise, by using brute force. So that means I, because I am encrypting now, sending to the destination, it is really tomorrow. So tomorrow, if you there, you will open it and you will use it. Okay, even if I my computer can be broken after 100 years, it will not affect my job, my requirement. Like for example, in the University of Air Colleges, I very difficult question papers one day before. Okay, that is the place and the teachers in the following day. So if it my algorithm, my write an algorithm to break, which takes 100 years, or even 1 year, or even 30 days, for me it is not going to have any impact. Now, now the so-called problem which takes 100 years or 1 year to break using brute force technique is now can be broken with the quantum computer within 5 seconds. Haripala, suppose if our chief minister, Chandrababu Naidu was envisaging to okay, fabricate a quantum computer of 1,000 qubits by 2027. 1,000 qubits quantum computer to the power of 1,000 computations. If such a powerful computer is fabricated, Haripala, the so-called remember, all the algorithms are surviving because of its cryptanalysis shows okay, what is in this response time. With the advent of quantum computer or the quantum computer becoming a reality, the first scapegoat is cryptography. None of our cryptography algorithms are okay. No algorithm says it cannot be broken. Every algorithm says it requires 100 years, it requires 50 years, it requires 10 years. Haripala, so it is the foundations are very so this is going to be cryptography is going to be a board of and we have industry application finance. Okay, decision making. Now you know, must have listened how many people are having habit of doing share market trading. Okay, investment is different, trading is different. Trading. No, what happened now? Earlier it is 1 in 100. You used to gain 9% to lose. Now that proportion has increased 1 in 100. 100 out of 100, one is winning. It's like a gambling now. Why? Because of the usage of artificial intelligence. Tomorrow, quantum computers are also used in the okay, strategist playing, then it will be haves and have-nots. Are you following? It's like a digital divide. So others cannot enter into that. So this is financial risk analysis is important. Healthcare, drug discovery and protein modeling. Tomorrow again one speaker is coming, Maheshwar Rao from Hyderabad. Okay, I sent him some few students about that, and they are working on drug discovery. Okay, so what is drug discovery? You know, they will be prototype molecules. Every molecule is tested for both the laboratory and then field test everything. It, the entire lab takes a huge amount of time. So that's why a drug to be made operation, drug to be commercialized takes very long duration. That is now substantially reduced with the help of quantum computing. That means the space is now reduced. Earlier, huge space with the help of quantum computing, instead of exploring only the molecules, we will be we will be exploring only five molecules, five potential molecules, out of which you are guaranteed to get the solution. Are you following? So that is the advantage. Last is route optimization, supply location. Now there is a war between Iran and America. You will see a strange phenomenon nowadays. One is our oil prices are increased because we have explored the different routes. Okay, only few routes are there. Second important thing is supply chain efficiency. You see here, rice rate is decreasing day after day. Okay, why? Because our exports are stopped. The wholesale dealers want to clear their stock, even at the because otherwise capital will be locked. So they don't mind even selling the goods at loss. So that's how generally this phenomena happens only when the production is more. Then rates will be come down. But in case supply chain efficiency problems arise, then also okay, this side rates will come down. That side people die with starvation. Curriculum, both things will happen. So this is the drug design. How many stages are there? Okay. Regulatory approvals, clinical development, preclinical development, drug discovery. Okay. These are all okay. Out of 10,000 compounds, one component will survive. Remaining all will be going okay, out. So now there is quantum computing. These are the two path-breaking algorithms. One is Grover's algorithm, second one is Shor's algorithm. See, earlier I gave some idea about entanglement, okay, superposition, and then quantum computing, all these things as characteristics. Now, these are the two important algorithms, which the first level understanding must okay, everyone who wants to know about quantum computing will be going through these two algorithms. One is Grover's and the second one is Shor's. I will tell you Grover's story. See, uh, there are the computer industry, there are hardware developers, there are software users. Hard users, application developers who use this hardware. Hardware developers all the time ask the application developers to give the challenging problem, okay, which requires more computing power. Then they pose some challenging problems, okay, to the hardware developer saying that your hardware is not able to solve this problem, or your hardware is taking more time to solve the problem. Hence, design a new hardware. That is how the handshake between end user and the development happen every time. Now, Robert is a person, he a mathematician who proposed an algorithm that was the first quantum computing algorithm. What he said, see, by then, all the physical aspects are already popular about okay, what are all the different kinds of gates, what how the circuits will be built, and what kind of functionality can achieve. All these things are very hard. Okay, people are facing there is a unanimous emergency, but there is no comment. Then God is the first person. I am supporting an algorithm. Okay, if you build a quantum cell, okay, using all the known properties to build a quantum, my algorithm and searching order. And this algorithm is faster than any known strict algorithm, like Binary, Fibonacci search, linear search. All these searching algorithms, there is not even binary search. What to take any algorithm, one algorithm. Okay, my algorithm is faster than all these algorithms, provided if you build a quantum algorithm. If project that has really the architect of the quantum computer took it very seriously, and they have built the first quantum computer. Okay, and they successfully executed global algorithm. That was the beginning point. That is why global algorithm is famous. Okay, second one is group algorithm. What this philosophy, is quantum computing. Okay, you take cryptography. Cryptography, in the cryptography problem, most challenging of is prime factor. If two big prime numbers, each is of say 100 digit length. So one 100 digit length prime number, another 100 digit prime number, you multiply them, you get a number, use that as a key, it cannot be decoded. For decoding it, it takes 10 years. So the problem here is a two big prime numbers. Okay, decoding prime number, co-prime number into two prime numbers. Okay, show as distribution. So with the rest of a co-prime number, okay, it has been factored into two numbers, two numbers of prime. So it the crux of the entire cryptography algorithm, one big set of algorithms is difficult, okay, prime factor for which code has provided. That is another phenomenon. Remember, if you want to develop a new computing device, we must have some okay, uh, okay, application, okay, which will be which can be demonstrated on the new computer, and it will be sufficient to the purpose. Okay, so these two algorithms have that's a great algorithm. One is short and second one is global. Okay, so these two algorithms. Now you see, it is a powerful quantum circuit. Unlike traditional computing like Python, C, Java, here every program is written in the part of a circuit. Okay, now there are for conversion of circuit into Python and Python into circuit, but it is very costly to build the Python program, but circuit visualization, circuit understanding is very easy. So this is how it looks like. What I said now, every program is converted into a quantum program. That converted quantum program is in the form of a circuit. Are you following? This is a circuit. So now there are, it is, I will just explain the outer view of some of the important aspects which are common to all. See, first thing is how many qubits are used in the how many qubits are used in a particular algorithm. Here, how many inputs are there? N plus one. Okay, n plus one input. So input line. So it is n plus one qubit circuit. If you observe here, these are all called psi one, psi two, psi four. All these are called stages. Remember, we are used to have our way. Okay, global values and all these things. Here, art and essence. Every qubit is used. Okay, and the stage one will be carrying some value at every stage, and final stage also will be having an output. Okay, you have the output interpreted by little post, but and remember, this is one thing. Yeah, number of qubits are at number of qubits are at. So you need to okay, for solving a particular problem, how many qubits are there, how many qubits are required, that many qubits to be utilized in the quantum computer. Quantum computer can be having 1,000 qubits, but for solving your problem, okay, 20 qubits are sufficient, you are only 20 qubits. Are you following? And then there is nothing like input. This is very important. Generally, what is our digital computer logic? Here we give the input, here we take the output. Here we take the output, there we take the output. That is true. But here we don't give input. These are all instantiations. We assign, okay, based on the logic, it is 0 or 1. That means we are activating the qubit. So this is assignment of 0 that must be randomly instant the activation of the qubit. It is not input to the problem. Input to the problem is like in the form of a rectangle. Here there is a rectangle now. That rectangle is called oracle, in which the business logic of the program is written, built in. It is a function itself. Now see here, it is a function. It is a function. That is where the essential logic is built. Okay, it is in the form of a lookup table. Okay, this is so it is important to difference between traditional computing and quantum computing. The first one is okay. Okay, by looking at the uh, number of qubits that input at this layer one, stage one, determines how many qubits are used for this particular problem solving. And and the output is actually output. But we need to interpret the output. For the interpretation, we will use the post processing. And most importantly, is it is called business logic. It is what this rectangular box is called connected. Sometimes for a problem based on the complexity, we may be having only one rectangular box. Sometimes it may be having multiple rectangular blocks in the multiple stages. So this is uh, so ultimately when you choose quantum computing as a profession or choice, then you should be eventually building this kind of circuit. There are some circuit drawing tools are there. Okay, if you try to concatenate some elements which is illegal or okay, syntactical error, then it will not allow you to connect. So only legal modes are connected. Or if that is how the entire circuit is built. Okay, this is one. This entire circuit is of one particular algorithm going into a term. There is a one family algorithm going into a term. But okay, I'm not going into the details of algorithm. Yeah. So these are all how to solve. Okay. Like we have already seen how to be solved within a specified time. Otherwise, no value. Radar need to timely respond. Otherwise, no value. Time reaction. Okay. They will be multiple parameters. This is very important. You see What is the meaning of engineering design? Multiple parameters to be here. Uh, Now you see, uh, in any process, there are multiple parameters. But to simplify the design, we assume some parameters as constant. Why we assume some parameters as constant? To make the problem bounded, to make the problem solvable. But uh, but uh, but real challenge is but the real challenge is those problems which are considered insignificant. One day they will become significant. Okay, in uh, Hyderabad, there was some explosion happened in one of the chemical factories about 4 5 months back, Signachi. Okay, they viscosity parameter they haven't counted, and that bad event that is explored. I follow. So remember, it is a dichotomy problem. If you want to include all parameters, complexity exponentially increase. For this, to finding solution becomes challenging. If you don't include all parameters, okay, problem will be removed and at one point of time, one after 10 years, after 20 years, okay, as Murphy's law, yes, it will explode one day. Whereas in case of quantum computer, you see, for example, this building is there. It's a 10-story building. Are you following? So while constructing this building, civil engineers, architects use a safety factor. What is the meaning of safety factor? They design it for 20 floors and they recommend for only 10 floors. That is called point five safety factor. Why the safety factor? Because of that assumption, huge in the design. What are the assumptions? Assumptions like, okay, load is uniformly transferred, bearing capacity of the soil is uniform, there are no walls in the complete. All these are assumptions. Are you following? But okay, engineering design and sophistication as a result of that, we will have better things. Okay. So it's more complex problems because computation has been a problem. Okay, we can even now tackle polynomial non-polynomial complex problems. Okay, scheduling problems. We are all in. Okay, yeah. One or two basically the quantum supremacy is here. Uh, Google now it has million times faster quantum computer than the best classical computer. Million means nothing. Okay, okay, because just now sometime that we have seen how the power of quantum computer integers increment of 2 bits. Okay, it is, but in the traditional terms it is very great. Okay, state of state of quantum computer, sorry, state of classical computer means supercomputer are equivalent to 20 qubit quantum computer. There are CDAX, Param, all these things are known under so okay, high computing power. Such computers are also equivalent to 20 quantum computer. Okay, in 2020, okay, Google promised to fabricate 50 qubit quantum computer within each 5 years. That means by 2028, it is promised to deliver 50 qubit quantum computer. But Google already fabricated 1.5 qubit quantum processor. Is the state of art quantum processor now, which is named as Google. Okay, so that means remember the industries are setting the milestones, but they are attaining the goals well before the milestones. So that is the rapid growth that we see in the quantum computers. Okay, big data problem. Okay, after data problem, everything can be very big. is solved. QC is much more powerful than IBM Deep Blue, which is one of the sophisticated computers. IBM fabricated 1,121 cubic QC, named it as Condor. So remember, there is a race. Okay, IBM is much ahead of Google. Okay, so this is what is currently happening. Quantum computing is now entering a definite phase. It is now moving from laboratory to the industry, commercialization, and transition from experimental to industry quantum systems is happening. Impact across industries like finance, healthcare, logistics, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity. Wherever computation to time criticality is there, it is finding a solution. Okay, so these are all great things. Challenges. These are the challenges. Scalability. Maintaining the fluid stability and error correction. You see here, uh, here the hardware is very vulnerable. There is a lot of decoherence problem. That means noise noise problems are there. So that is causing. That means they need to devise new hardware material for building quantum computers. Cost barrier, high R&D and infrastructure cost, talent gap, shortage of skilled quantum professionals. Now we see carefully in Amaravati, they are coming up with in the quantum valley. Just you see, Amaravati Quantum Valley is focusing on four important things. One is, remember, one is quantum hardware. Second one is quantum programming. Third one is skilled manpower. Fourth one is R&D. This is actually fourth generation digital computers emerged in the year 1970. Fifth generation digital computers emerged in 1980. Okay, those countries which primarily focused on hardware along with other parameters are the now winners. All the patents, all the royalty, everything goes to them only. Or if you take, for example, Microsoft, IBM, you take any Google, whatnot, all this Hello, all these things are with US. Okay, they in the form of royalty, they are getting huge amounts. Okay, so now we cannot see what Aripalan with that intention. Okay, definitely, not the only laboratories from the state government, central government, everywhere we are trying to build the ecosystem. Ecosystem is not only writing programs, remember, we need to focus on all these four patterns. Okay, so see a different scenario. We will see a sizable number of patents are identified. Okay, a sizable number of quantum hardware. All these things are likely to, are going to happen. Okay, quantum computing is going to reshape the industry next 5 to 10 years. What is the meaning of reshape? Now we are studying about computer science, studying operating system, people studying data structure, EVMS, computer organization, software engineering. Okay, all these subjects need to be reoriented. So these are all these are all going to be wiped out. Not, may not be immediately, but in future. That is the a destructive technology. As far as digital computer, remember, as far as digital computer is concerned, it has the potential to be a destructive computer, destructive technology. But earlier I did not say really and quantum computing wipe out each other. No, they are not going to wipe out each other. But digital computer is going to be likely to be wiped out by quantum computer. So there is an entire subject, all the list of subjects that we are studying, including communication. See the next one, quantum internet. What is meant by quantum internet? Suppose you see the channel, communication channel is digital. It communicates zeros and ones, and computation there is quantum. Then it cannot be transmitted to the destination. So we see a collapse. Okay, uh, what is called okay. I told you it's like it collapses to one of the classical states and then transmits. So that will not serve the purpose. So we require okay quantum internet wherein information is flowed from source to destination in the form of qubits. So these are all challenges. But okay, unless you remember, it is called ecosystem. Building a quantum computer and solving few problems is not sufficient. We require the complete ecosystem to be built, which involves quantum internet. Okay, government and enterprises accelerating adoptions. Okay, in fact, some are explicitly saying, some organizations like DRDO is not revealing, but they are all doing great research in quantum computing. Okay, opportunities, R&D, okay, for new design of algorithm, power saving, okay, it is very big advantage, but challenges, very expensive at present because of quantum computers life is very small. Okay, and the maintenance conditions are very different. Like 0 degree minus 270 okay, very fragile. Any kind of vibration, in fact, atom can cause decay. Okay, so this is very fascinating part. National quantum machine. Everyone is talking about national quantum machine. Probably you must have applied for some projects at the museum. Okay, last December they called mission aims to innovative ecosystem of quantum technology. Ecosystem is not the one. Just now I told about four pillars of ecosystem. Okay, all the four pillars, unless the ecosystem is built, they must be tried to, there must be programmers, there must be hardware fabricators, there must be R&D. Okay, very good to see NPTEL out of 3.5 lakh to improvement in computing, 2 lakhs are from okay, it is very fascinating. Okay, now you see, this is very important. Quantum computing, Java compilers, they are built on C programming. In fact, Java compilers are built on C program. The code is C program. So that means products those are transferred to Java because it is reliant on C program. In a similar manner, although we simulated so many things about quantum computer, but underneath uh, computing hardware is again digital. Are you following? So now what is needed? Okay, no zero one thinking should be quantum, fabrication, everything should be in quantum. Like for example, we don't also for doing any computation, never convert given numbers into binary hardware and they convert back into decimal. No? In a similar manner, quantum computing, complete ecosystem will be built. Suppose if we from India, if we do that, that is a great development. Okay. New design principles which can dispense with zeros and ones. Okay, that will be great contribution. Okay. So, so it is a summary. Quantum technologies can bring phenomenal change in the field of biology. Remember, nowadays ACT is also recommending to introduce the biology period subject because if you want to build the systems which are close to the nature, we must understand biology. Biology understanding by biologists and biology understanding by engineers is different. Biology is studied as discipline, okay, by the biology, but we study it as cause and effect research. Why is it happening? How is it? I will go to some small information. I told you, for example, for consumption of sugar, okay, what is that? Diabetic, what is that particular enzyme? Insulin. Insulin is secreted in our human body. That's the protein. Are you following? Now you see, we are all we are all sugar, we are not healthy people, not having any chronic condition. How much quantity of insulin is produced? Who is deciding? And suppose suppose uh, 10% of the excess is sufficient for today because we are taking a small amount of food. Who is expecting that cell like to produce the insulin and how much amount of insulin is to be produced? Okay, these are all no biologist can explain. Are you following? So, and then suppose from X cell is asked to produce insulin. Okay, then that way is communicated that we do not